Team Liquid today will make or break their chances. Our 4-time defending champions are staring down the barrel of missing playoffs altogether.
It's basically all or nothing. Either we make playoffs or we don't, so everything's on the line. If we beat C9, then I think it would show that we're back.
They'll be there victorious together as Team Liquid are your LCS Spring Split champions.
Back-to-back sweeps. TL's the best team in North America. Team Liquid, I do believe they've done it. It's 3 LCS titles in a row.
They are the only team to lift the trophy back to back to back to back. And they are the best team North America has ever produced.
If they don't make playoffs, is that the biggest failure of any team in LCS history?
It certainly is the biggest downfall. 4-time back-to-back-to-back champions to not making playoffs.
Remember, if Team Liquid doesn't make it into the playoffs, that will be the first time we have ever had a reigning champion not make it into playoffs.
We've seen this with almost every sports dynasty ever. Winning is hard. So we have this team that took winning for granted.
TL versus Cloud9, you now must beat Cloud9, which is almost a death sentence.
And it's an absolute slaughter for Cloud9.
Cloud9 has had perhaps the greatest first 12 games of an LCS split ever.
We've all been in those super high pressure situations where our backs are against the wall. And beating the #1 team is probably the best possible way to come into playoffs.
My word, one last shot, that's double it, coming up with a kill.
The drought is down, the battle storm.
Power is unleashed by Jensen.
Almost!
You gotta be kidding me, Blabber!
Cloud9 are the team to beat in North America.
Welcome back for Game 4 of the day. Team Liquid versus Cloud9. It took 3 results before this to make this game matter for Team Liquid. Picking up a victory here would be huge for them. I'll lay it all out for you guys right now. There will be a 4-way tie for 6th place if Team Liquid picks up this victory. On the flip side, if Cloud9 win it, as was written for me by my stats team, they will yeet TL out of playoff contention, and there will be a 3-way tie for 6th, with Dignitas playing Immortals and the winner of that game moving on to play the Golden Guardians. Gents, let's get into this. TL's hopes and dreams, playoff implications, all of it rides on this game. And Azale, I'm coming to you first. Our 4-time defending champions are on the precipice of being in or out of the postseason.
I think it's incredible. It almost seems like it is destined at this point. It was hard to believe that this scenario could even happen, but I do think it is so exciting to see TL going up against Cloud9 with such heavy stakes. Cloud9 could shut TL out of the playoffs with this win here. And if TL want to prove that they deserve to make the playoffs, well, how better to prove that than by taking down the team that only has 1 loss that has been crushing everyone?
Well, I mean, without a doubt.
That's the thing.
Go ahead.
C9 could get the tie for the best record all time LCS regular season at 17-1. And when we were looking at this game at the start of the split, when we're like, ooh, one of the last games of the year is Team Liquid or split is Team Liquid versus C9. Maybe they'll be fighting for first. We thought this game would matter. It's just not like this, where one team is fighting for an all-time record and one is just trying to stay alive.
We've brought Prawley in to help us out for the remainder of the day. Prawley, coming to you on this game. Let's talk about what's gone wrong for Team Liquid. I know plenty, so we're going to try and bring it all down. But, like, what's gone wrong and what needs to be fixed in order for them to challenge C9 in such a fashion that they might actually be able to move themselves into the postseason?
So this is a very quickly abridged version, because I think the answer to that question is very long.
Yeah.
But currently, it's got to be how passive they've been playing. I think in all their games, it's been an issue of shot calling and like who's going to make the next play. And now they're up against C9, who's very decisive. So if they're not going to be able to play the aggressive way against C9, it's going to be a rough game for them.
Oh, I believe that 100%. Crumbs has been citing some kind of mystical force, though, that has been moving us towards the most exciting tiebreakers in LCS history, and that would indicate a Team Liquid win here to force that 4-way. We'll have to see if the players themselves can get it done, though, on the Rift, as the teams have loaded into Champion Select one more time. Back over to the casters for the call.
All right, here we go. Team Liquid and Cloud9 head-to-head. This game, Team Liquid have the chance to keep themselves alive. In this game, Jeff, we find out whether or not this is Season 6 Game of Thrones Jon Snow, who has all the plot armor in the world and literally comes back to life even after killed, or whether it's Season 8 Jon Snow, who has the same plot armor but goes, I don't want it. So we're going to see which one Team Liquid decides to be today, because it's all up to them now. I mean, their game was out of their hands, but now it's right back.
That's an audio move. That's an audio move, Flowers, you can only use at home with the mic you did. I'm so excited that we're in this position that Team Liquid, they lost yesterday against FlyQuest, and now everything else has happened exactly for them. And the analyst has just mentioned this mystical force that is potentially moving Team Liquid towards this miracle. And I don't know if it's that mystical. I think it's Broxa. Because even Broxa has talked about this in interviews. He says, I've been in this situation so many times where we just seem to come out of it in the end. The 0-4 start for Fnatic at Worlds with Broxa in 2017. The last year where Fnatic had to beat SKT and RNG on the final day, and they did, to move out of groups. And now where actually everything had to fall in this miracle way to even create this opportunity for then Team Liquid to somehow hand Cloud9 their only second loss of the split. And how motivated do you think Cloud9 is, Captain Flowers, to be the ones to just stomp on Team Liquid's hopes? This is an epic moment, and I'm so happy we're getting it in Week 9.
Well, the way that it's going to be served up is with a first pick Ornn for the side of TL, and the response from Cloud9 being a Varus and a Tahm Kench there in the bottom lane. Team Liquid immediately responding with a Braum.
Yeah, I don't know why Cloud9 banned Senna, but I can see maybe they think Double has put in a lot of games on it and it's just strong. Either way, we do have both of the defensive bottom lanes already locked in, and Cloud9, I think, is going to keep things flexible. That Rumble can go mid or top.
Double lift on Ashe this time around. Full Freljord bottom lane there, doing some lore stuff. I don't know where Braum actually falls in the lore, but Ashe is a queen or something, so... Now we've got Rumble locked in. They're picking ice, you're picking fire. Why not go with a little bit of Pokemon rules there and see if Cloud9 can bring the team fighting power there with that Rumble that we've honestly seen pop off in a lot of different games with a lot of different teams so far here in Spring.
Yeah, and it works with Cloud9's up-tempo style. They're not going to look to beat Team Liquid by scaling until 35 minutes and hoping to find the dream team fight. They're going to try and win by smashing you in lane, taking all the objectives, and winning the game in 30 minutes or less. And the Varus Tahm Kench is an incredibly strong dual lane that will likely be able to achieve priority against Doublelift and CoreJJ's Ashe Braum. The Rumble mid, which is where I think this will end up going, can get shove on basically everyone else. And then the question will be, what does Blabber go on? Because the Gragas, which he generally gets put on every single game, was actually banned away by Team Liquid. So that'll be the next pick for them. Elise Rumble is double magic damage and would actually lead to some damage issues in the late game against Ornn. So I'm wondering what Blabber plays physical damage jungle-wise. Probably something like Lee Sin, but we'll have to see.
One more ban to go for TL. Could they ban away the Lee Sin? We'll see. Nope. Wants to go with Cassiopeia instead.
Yeah, could do Olaf. That's something that we haven't seen a huge amount of in the LCS. They could also do Kalista top. That would be sweet. And they could save their jungle pick for last. Kalista being unbanned. Okay.
Okay. Renekton pick up means this is most likely a Rumble mid. Of course, you could switch them around. You could have Renekton mid and Rumble top, but I'm feeling Renekton mostly living in the top lane here these days. Let's see how Team Liquid wants to do these last two picks. We still need to see a jungler. We still need to see a mid laner.
Yeah, and I've spent the second half of the split just looking at TL drafts and thinking, oh yeah, they can win through this way, and then it being wrong because it just feels like they haven't been able to generate that many wins. But the CC chain they have with an Elise can be very, very potent. So I actually do like the Elise pick in this situation.
One more to go. The mid laner most likely playing up against the Rumble here. Jensen needs to be a hero for his team right now. Remember, Jensen was the man who had for so long with Cloud9 not been able to find himself a victory in the LCS. And then with Team Liquid, he finally achieves that victory. Now it's time to step up and show everybody that you can do it again here.
Yeah, I think Jensen's Ornn, and I think they'll move the Aatrox top. So they could be swapping these back and forth for a while, and also Niski and Licorice have the ability to swap theirs back and forth, and we do see the Olaf. That is a sweet pick against Elise. It is miserable for the Elise if Olaf can get 6 fast, because he can literally just walk at the Elise and kill her.
I mean, it's also very good against Ashe.
Yeah. The Olaf is a good pick here, which is why I thought maybe they'd lock it early, but they decided they were able to wait, and they just power picked earlier on with the Renekton, which I think was smart. And yeah, this is going to be the lanes. We're going to get to see Jensen's Ornn.
Jensen Ornn against Niski Rumble. Niski being a player who has done so much, not just to smash lane opponents, but to also roam around and get the rest of the map going for C9. Honestly, we talk about how aggressive this team is, how well they've been playing so far this split. It comes from a lot of working together and doing it from the very beginning of the game. I'm super excited to see how this shakes out. Either Cloud9 becomes a 17-1 team looking absolutely ridiculous going into the postseason, or Liquid is that much closer to doing the impossible and clawing their way back from what looked like certain elimination. As I've already said in the past, if Liquid does not win this game and does not become the final team locked into playoffs, it will be the first time in the LCS that a defending champion has not made it back into playoffs to try and reclaim that title. A lot's on the line here. Right now, we've got to head into that 5-minute competitive integrity break, but once we're back, we will cast the action exactly as you see it. You do not want to miss this one. See you right after the break.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to what is now an incredibly important game for the outcome of the overall split here in spring 2020. Team Liquid going up against Cloud9. They played each other the very first game of the split. That was the beginning of Cloud9's dominance, coming out, smashing Liquid, everybody getting to see this roster for the first time, and now at the very end of things, they're going to play each other one more time, and Liquid must win against this 16-1 roster if they want to keep their playoff chances alive.
Yeah, I'm happy that we're even getting the opportunity to have this game be this meaningful. There was a very high chance that Liquid would just be eliminated by now. Yeah. All Immortals had to do was win a game, or either Golden Guardians and Dignitas, if neither of them went 2-0, then Team Liquid would have just lost the head-to-head to Immortals, even though they'd both end up at 8 wins with a win. So there was a high chance it's just going to be a for-fun game, where C9 would be trying to equal the best regular season record in LCS history, which is still possible. They could still go 17-1, but I think that's the last thing in C9's minds. I think at the forefront, they're thinking, oh man, we can just end Team Liquid right here, as they've ended every other team, but instead of just killing the Nexus, they're killing their split. So it is a big opportunity for Cloud9 to have this meaningful win, but also the fact that we're even here might imbue some type of belief within Team Liquid, this miracle belief that I think a lot of sports actually successfully draw from. For like, they should have been out. Like, they're essentially getting a free second chance. Losing to FlyQuest pretty much should have been it for Team Liquid. But now they get to run it back. They have double lift on Ashe. They have an Ornn mid, of all things, for Jensen. Brox is piloting the Elise, trying to make yet another miracle run. And it's hopefully going to be pretty epic no matter what happens.
Fun little bit of Twitter banter that comes along for this match. At the beginning of the day, before the matches ever started, Broxa tweeted, "Do you believe in miracles?" And
I saw that. I didn't see the reply.
A couple games into the day, I believe, it might have been either during or after the first game, Niski just types, "No, I don't." And I'm really excited to see if Niski steps up and, or whether his mouth is writing checks that his skills can't cash. We're going to see. Obviously, his skills have been on point so far this split. And you already mentioned it, man. For Cloud9, how vindicating it would have to feel to knock TL out of the playoffs after having that incredibly close 5-game series in Summer Split that Cloud9 almost won, only to then lose 3-2 against Team Liquid. Oh, they got to be bloodthirsty for this.
I mean, also remember the history between these two orgs. Impact was C9's top laner, basically bought by Team Liquid. Jensen, C9's mid laner, basically bought by Team Liquid. How many off seasons can C9 lose before they just go 18-0? Like, I don't know at this point, because they seem to keep being able to generate these wins. And everyone, every analyst that I talked to said Team Liquid was the favorite for this split. And they were. But it's C9 now, who's 16-1, guaranteed number 1 seed. You're not going to find a soul that says they aren't favorites to win the split. But even like week to week, when I think who could possibly beat C9 in playoffs, I keep thinking if anyone's going to do it, it's Team Liquid. So C9, they got the best of one, and it's forgiving, because if they do it here, they get rid of their biggest historical rival of recent times. Yeah. The team that has won 4 splits in a row against them. And I know we keep building up the story because it actually is really epic in this case. And we got Blabber, who in his 116 professional games I see on, or sorry, 106 professional games I see on record, he's played Olaf once. This is his second pro Olaf game.
How'd the one
necessarily
game go?
A reach. It was a win.
Okay.
Blabber actually has the highest win rate of all LCS players ever. So
I thought you were going to say the highest
he's been
Olaf
pretty
win
good.
rate, and I was going to say, yeah, well, 1 out of 1 is going to be pretty high.
Yeah, that too. That too. It's tied for first. But yeah, this is it. This is the moment.
All right, we're into game finally here, seeing exactly how it's going to go down. C9 up against Team Liquid.
looking at everything across the board, we got teleports there in both the top lanes. It is a teleport advantage for the side of Team Liquid as they are running one on Jensen's mid lane Ornn compared to the heal on Niski. If you look at Sven's Keystone, he is running lethal tempo as opposed to Comet, means we likely will see the on-hit team fight based version of the Varus as opposed to the lethality builds that aim to poke you out come the mid game. Granted, he is going to have some pretty thick walls to get through with that Braum and that Ornn if he was going poke, so I understand the choices. And that pretty much primes us to get ready for the start. Junglers will be beginning on opposite sides of the map. Blue buff start for both, neither side taking a leash.
It'll be pretty hard to keep Doublelift alive in teamfights as well when we're looking at the overall compositions. If a Rumble ult is just layered on top of him and an Olaf comes charging, that might end up being fatal damage if that's what's committed to. But with eyes on the early game, Elise basically has until Olaf is level 6 to have an impact in this game. So Broxah really has to make something happen early, and I want to almost immediately track early jungle paths. Blabber is the Olaf, so he has got incredibly fast clear speed. Looks like he's just kind of rounding up for a full clear and might be trying to rush 6 as fast as possible.
I always enjoy seeing how low the Olaf health and mana bars get during an efficient Olaf clear, just because it is so counterintuitive to anyone who's not familiar with the champion. But Niski steps up to the top side of the river here. He's going to ward that Pixel Brush. Very effective, especially when you're against an enemy jungler like an Elise who has powerful early dueling potential. Considering Olaf does like to stay incredibly low. Look at Blabber's health on the side of your screen. He's at death's door. If you get invaded at that point, you are essentially a free 400 gold for your opponent. And you can see the Hawk shot spots him out there. Very low mana, very low health. But considering that ward will make sure that Elise is nowhere near, Broxah can't interfere. But Niski is pushed up pretty far here into the mid lane. Jensen looking for a chance to maybe start this off. He does have the Volcanic Killer drop down. And now Niski has to try to get himself away. Broxah coming after him. Gets the Spider Bite, looking to go even further. Flash over the wall. Flash follow from Broxah. Cocoon's going to be sidestepped. Nice job, Niski, with the fancy feet.
Broxah missed a point-blank Cocoon after flashing. That probably would have been first blood, and now Flash
now here comes Blabber. Chop, chop. He goes up into the air. He's trying to survive. Broxah will look to get himself away, but the harpoons connect. Licorice has the stun. Licorice has the first blood, and C9 will punish Team Liquid's jungler.
I know Niski says he doesn't believe in miracles, but having Elise miss a point-blank Cocoon is pretty darn unlikely, Captain Flowers. So Niski in this
What's
case,
a miracle to a non-believer?
Oh man, that was the early game window for Team Liquid to start taking over. Now Broxah is at a level disadvantage and dead. So this is after the gank missed. Blabber can just charge in after him. It doesn't matter that Broxah was able to heal up off the Scuttle Crab. Licorice also had pushed top lane to pick up that first blood, and now it is also a double buff Crocodile in the top lane.
That
Broxah's got to keep ganking. This is his only option.
Incredibly strong. He does still have a flash ready to go. Doesn't want to flash too early. Wants to try to escape the CC combination coming towards him. Licorice getting the stun down onto Broxah, getting away. Repel comes down, and Broxah's looking to grab the kill. He won't be able to get it. Nearly going to be taken down, but he does step out of the turret range, and Broxah gets his revenge.
And exhale. Broxah did not feed the 0-2-0. Narrowly pulls off that gank, so you can tell he is not deterred from the early disaster that happened in the mid lane. Cloud9 still in control though, because Elise has been doing all this ganking. He's only level 3. Blabber is level 5. Blabber has 3 camps respawning as well as a Drake up. So I think by 6 minutes, there will likely be an Ocean Drake as well as a level 6 Olaf. And if he ever goes in the same space as Elise, Broxah is going to have to leave. So the advantage for Team Liquid will have to come from elsewhere.
Team Liquid now going to be missing out on that first Drake as Blabber sees his chance to go over towards it. You already mentioned the level lead. It means Blabber's not really afraid of anything going on down here on this bottom half of the map. He knows Broxah was involved on top side last. He's got that advantage, and now he's moving into the enemy jungle to take even more away from Broxah. Ocean Drake early on will also provide a nice little bit of regeneration here for Cloud9 during the remainder of the laning phase. They do have a slight gold lead so far. Niski now level 6 on this Rumble. Cloud9 likes to get bloody. They like to get scrappy once they have the tools to do so, and Rumble ulti is exactly that. Impact and Broxa once again looking to make a play onto Licorice. He has no ulti. The Dominus, normally something that's very good at dissuading teams from making these kinds of dives. Broxa nearly killed, but a good repel to drop the turret aggro, and Team Liquid makes it happen.
Brox is living dangerously. Those cocoons are not finding their target whatsoever, but it was enough. He was in the right place there to pick up another kill, and this is the way Team Liquid is looking to have this early game go. Let's camp top lane, and Impact.
Blabber versus Impact. Blabber gets himself away, but Impact takes him very low.
Yeah, Impact didn't have any cooldowns left, and I think was just worried about Olaf pressing W and healing back up.
Yeah.
Might have been an opportunity to pick up another kill there, but even so, that is a very good start to the game for Impact. Knowing that Licorice is still flashless, knowing that Impact still has his flash, and knowing that that's a lane that Broxa and Jensen can even potentially play around.
Here comes Broxa and Core JJ up with double lift to make sure they can secure that bottom side Scuttle Crab. Not willing to yield these objectives, many objectives I should say, here in neutral territory. Team Liquid up to that 1-kill lead early on. Jensen gets the equalizer brought down on his head as Licorice and Blabber are coming in. Licorice already prepping the Dominus nice and early to make sure he has the Fury for the empowered W underneath the turret. And Cloud9 will tie this game up 2-2.
Slowest gank ever, but it doesn't matter if it works. No flash on Jensen. He'd used his cooldowns, I believe, to clear the wave, so they could just kind of walk it in and get that kill for Blabber, extending the lead.
Blabber being ahead on this Olaf, 57-32 CS during Champion Select. You said if Olaf gets ahead nice and early, it's a nightmare for release because he just walks at you. And what are you supposed to do about it? Blabber is at that stage of the game. He'll continue to farm up level 7 to level 5, maintaining the 2-level lead. And remember, it's Elise. So when she hits level 6, she doesn't get a new ultimate ability like most other champions in the game. Yes, you get an empowered spider form, but it's not quite the same impact as a Ragnarok.
Yeah, and that extra spider to help out with the jungle clear, but absolutely.
CC immunity versus extra spider thing.
Yeah, Warrior Blabber now. And he's basically just doing the objective control route, which is perfectly effective. They know they already have Ocean. Broxa can't walk into River safely. They have push on mid lane Rumble. The Hawk shots have been actually really good by double lift and letting Broxa know where Blabber is. And I think in terms of the places where Broxa has been, he's been in the right place and had an opportunity to actually kind of blow this game open with that first mid lane gank, but for now, yeah, Blabber just going to farm and go for that Rift Herald pretty soon.
Niski continuing to maintain lane pressure here in mid. Rumble likely to do that up against Ornn. You can see Jensen working towards the Abyssal Mask. We know that Ornn's love to buy this. We know how effective the Ornn upgrade is. It's always the answer to an AP-based opponent laner as Broxa clears out vision from Cloud9 in the top side of the river there. Coming here into mid lane once more, trying to make a play on the Niski, who has to flash out of the way, but he doesn't flash it. That hitbox is a thing of mysteries as the Ornn ulti will find its way onto Niski. Impact also joining up with the fight, but since Blabber is here, Team Liquid won't be able to make the move.
Niski narrowly escapes that. The fact that he got hit by the Ornn ult after flashing made me think that he was dead for sure, but he'll Rumble, and the fact that Jensen couldn't get the E knockup as he actually didn't headbutt the wall, trying to make it so his hitbox would still hit the Rumble while also hitting the wall, misses it. And that was the play that Team Liquid needed to work if they wanted to get Rift control now, since they burned everything. Vulcan's roamed up. Sven still has teleport in case there's a team fight. And C9, like almost every other game they played this split, get first Rift.
Nice early Rift Herald for Cloud9. We'll see when and where they decide to drop it. Considering they're picking it up at 10 minutes, that means they'll have the entire duration to use it to get plate money. Blabber walking up towards Broxa now, invading that blue buff. Core JJ hanging out nearby. Blabber sensing that something is definitely not right here. He knows that Impact is left top lane too, so he backs out.
Yeah, still some pressure created by Blabber, and he's just going to be able to walk down towards Drake for this move right now. If C9 ever wins a fight, that Rift will likely be the full turret, but still an undecided game, so to speak. It's been filled with tension, honestly, with how much Brox has tried to make happen in this early game. Does have his Runic Echoes now, so would still pack a good amount of punch if he can burst someone. It's just so hard to find a target.
And since everything's been happening really on the top side, let's go ahead and check in on bottom lane where things are mostly quiet, but it is a very modest CS lead for Sven over Doublelift, as both of them are going for the Blade of the Ruined King rush. Blabber on top of the Infernal Drake. He's able to take that one down, goes into the Ragnarok, and immediately, absolutely, and unequivocally exploded. Broxah with the flash over the wall, but he's picked off with a piercing arrow, and now CoreJJ is stuck. Doublelift hit by the chains of corruption, and C9 decide to hoof it out of there. Doublelift still looking to follow, and Jensen is here to frontline. Sven trying to fall back, Vulcan going to be right by his side. CoreJJ and Jensen continue to try to retreat, but the TP's coming in, and Liquid may be in some dire trouble. Jensen tries to escape, but Sven's got the kill. But the money on the AD carry, it's exactly where it needs to be. CoreJJ running away with the shield up as Licorice looks to potentially make a dive. The minion wave will arrive here in only a moment, and Licorice and Niski will prevent the retreat of the bottom lane of Team Liquid. Broxah tries to fall in for reinforcements, and a TP coming down for TL will keep Doublelift and CoreJJ alive. Vulcan retreating now, he does only have half HP. The Infernal Chain will be sidestepped, and C9 calls it off.
Quite a sequence right there. Team Liquid was waiting on a few critical cooldowns. Impact didn't actually have teleport to match when Licorice came in. It only came back up later. And Jensen, when he chased into the blue buff area, his ultimate wasn't quite ready either. But the meat and potatoes of that fight was definitely the Drake take by Blabber. He was looking for the full charge, but you got to remember, you are more vulnerable while ulted, even if you're immune to CC. So TL, knowing that, was actually able to completely burst him down, tracking the gold and seeing them use the Rift Herald and just taking the big picture. C9 did end up winning that in a pretty big way, getting first turret and now 2 Drakes.
Best use of Rift Herald as well. Remember that as you take the plates, the turret gets tankier and tankier, so it's best to use it towards the end there to get the last couple of plates when it has all the resistances. Since Shelly's charge is true damage, it's exactly what Cloud9 did, and they managed to get nearly a 3,000 gold lead here just about 13 minutes into the game. They've also got both Elemental Drakes so far, and we'll see if Team Liquid can try to make things happen here. Here's a look at how they got this burst kill into Blabber.
Yeah, so that's it. They just used all the buttons on him. Broxah probably wanted to flash over towards Jensen, but ended up sticking himself inside the pit. Otherwise, he might have been able to live here. And you can tell Doublelift is thinking, hey, we can win, we can win, we can win. But look at that cooldown on the Ornn ultimate. Just about to come back up. Does allow C9 to turn and burn a lot of damage down onto Jensen, with Licorice not actually participating in the kill in official credit, but in spirit, I think he did empower C9 to move forward.
Moral support.
Yeah, well, pretty real. It's also a big crocodile if they actually need him.
And it was looking really scary there for Doublelift and CoreJJ until that TP showed up. Impact really being their guardian angel, making sure that neither one of them got 4-man dove. Cloud9 now still in the lead of this game. No neutral objectives to fight over for another 2 minutes. We'll see if C9 want to push onto either of these turrets that are remaining in the tier 1 line. With turret plating just now falling, it means they are much more vulnerable than previous. Cloud9 turrets still standing mostly completely intact, as C9 will put a little bit of vision down on the Team Liquid side of the river.
And C9 are in such a good position at 14 minutes here. Just kind of looking at the map and thinking, okay, how does TL actually win? It's probably some hard engage flank from Ornn into Varus Tahm Kench, but look, they land the arrow, it's immediately consumed, and then what is the Ornn ult really doing? Oh, by the way, that's all of their initiation. So they can now, watch what they're doing. They're not even pushing up mid. They're just pushing the side lane with Niski, if you look at the minimap, and also Licorice. So, like, Team Liquid doesn't have solo kill pressure in either side lane. Impact didn't get far enough ahead, and Licorice has Blade of the Ruined King now, so his dueling is so good. And their hard engage on mid lane Tahm Kench is just honestly lackluster because he's such a great defensive option. So C9 sitting really pretty right now, saving their ultimates and saying, all right, let's fight for Cloud Drake and work towards Soul.
Yeah, the engage their mid lane, not what the doctor ordered for Team Liquid. They are continuing to scale up. Remember that once Ornn hits that level 13 point, that's when he can get the items for himself. 14, 15, 16, 17, that's when he starts turning into Santa Ornn, handing out the presents to everybody else on the team. Abyssal Mask already complete. Will do a lot in a team fight to survive the damage from the Rumble, but remember that is still only the only AP threat on the Cloud9 squad. Fully expect Jensen to grab the Sunfire Cape next, have that big upgrade ready to go too once he hits that level 13 mark. As Nisqy rejoins the team here in mid lane, Cloud9 clearing out the minion waves, giving themselves a good spot to contest this Drake. It is number 3. This is where Team Liquid have to start worrying about the impact of all of these being taken away as Licorice forces the fight onto Impact here in the bottom lane. It's Vulcan showing up as well, the Abyssal Voyage bringing the Kench in. Licorice nearly outplayed by Impact, but barely surviving, able to flash away and stay alive with the enemy top laner down. Cloud9 has a man advantage moving towards this Drake fight, and Blabber takes the opportunity to hack away at this tier 1.
Yeah, may as well just take the extra gold while Impact has his death timer. It's going to be about 30 or 40 seconds before this Drake can even go down, or rather until they can get it. But
nice!
No Tom Kench for
Shot
Sven.
from Double Lift. The follow-up CC is there too, and Sven is picked off. Good.
That's huge.
TL.
That's huge. Jensen has ultimate as well if C9 decides to stand their ground there. And Licorice actually went to push top lane because he thought it was such in favor. Nisqy also no equalizer, so I think TL should look to force here.
TL moving up, confident now after having taken out that backline weapon for the side of Cloud9. Blabber and Vulcan still going to be defending. Nisqy with half the cooldown remaining on the equalizer. Licorice has no dominance. The ultis all down on the side of C9. Granted, the same story can be told for TL. Sans that Ornn ulti, but it's such huge impact in the fight. You know that it'll make a difference.
And the death timer is completely gone for Sven. He teleports back. C9 again here with 5 people. Team Liquid still looking like they want to fight, though.
Vulcan in the stopwatch, keeping himself alive, but here comes your Ornn Horn. Jensen's able to find the knockup onto 3. Team Liquid coming in, looking to bring the damage. Licorice isolated in the top part of the fight. Impact going to be soaking the damage for the piercing arrow, and Cloud9 continues to retreat. Cloud Drake going to be doing some favors here for the side of TL, putting some damage into the Cloud9 health bars. As Nisqy stays on the front line there, trying to zone TL away. Cooldowns are going to be coming up here momentarily for the side of Cloud9. Broxah looking to move in, looking to contest. Blabber's there on the front line as well. The equalizer is down, and the Cloud Drake stolen by Broxah. Showing up clutch right when it matters. But Cloud9 are not willing to surrender this fight here just yet. Licorice still looking for the last couple of seconds here on the Dominus cooldown. Cloud9 continuing to maintain control over the river, but that was big for Team Liquid.
Team Liquid somehow not dead yet. That was a clutch steal by Broxah, and I swear Doublelift hit so many 4- and 5-man volleys to keep C9 at arm's reach there. Sven's ultimate, I think, just came back up after all of that engagement. You could see they were just posturing so much, and both teams just were waiting for that moment to be able to turn it with their ultimates. Still in for a game. We know the win conditions are limited for Team Liquid, Captain Flowers, but it's still possible.
Doublelift getting that arrow onto Sven in mid lane was the catalyst for all of that. The immediate flash into Glacial Fissure follow-up from Core JJ. The bottom lane for TL was on point there to make sure that pick happened. Now that Team Liquid feels a little bit more stable as the game moves forward. Remember, you lose that third Drake. Everyone from that point forward is the potential of giving soul away to your opponent, so they can breathe a little bit easier. As Cloud9 see their chance to go for the second Herald of the game. Nice arrow coming out from Double. Vulcan, remember, there's no stopwatch any longer here on the top Kench, and Team Liquid will find themselves another pick. Broxah taking some damage from Blabber, but it's all about Sven, who is popped again. Team Liquid will just keep finding them.
Is this actually happening? Is Team Liquid potentially coming back against Cloud9 right here? They pick Vulcan, who stopwatched us, as you mentioned. No cleanse, no QSS. They denied the Rift Herald, and now they can push 5 strong mid lane, bringing that gold close.
What is it with Sven getting caught out against Team Liquid? What is this? Does anyone else remember? Let's go back in time to not the last time that Team Liquid won themselves a championship, but a time before that. TSM versus Team Liquid. It was Sven getting caught out that ended up catalyzing the revenge for TL. And here again, Vulcan gets caught, Sven gets caught.
And I think it was just a little bit lazy by Cloud9, if I'm being completely honest. They had Rumble top, Renekton bot, and just a River Kench while Team Liquid wasn't matching side lanes. So unless Team Liquid was actually matching side lanes, Vulcan shouldn't have been roaming that river by himself. It was, I think, a situation where they didn't expect Team Liquid to pounce so quickly, because honestly, they've been watching Team Liquid games this split, and it's not a team that makes initiative and makes things happen. But right there, it does seem like with the Ashe, that Doublelift is the one signaling the initiations, and the successful fights for Team Liquid have been started by the Enchanted Crystal Arrow.
What a story here for Doublelift to go from being benched for sickness to then remaining on the bench, motivation issues here in Spring Split, coming back saying he's found that fire again now that the team's in a really bad spot, to almost being completely eliminated and now being responsible for keeping his team in the game with initiations. What a story for him if they're managing to put the second loss of the entire split on Cloud9's record with this, but they are still behind. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Cloud9 still leads this game in gold, they still lead in Drakes, and they still have one hell of a team fight composition. Core JJ now in the Baron pit trying to set up a little bit of vision. Cloud9 running right over where he laid that ward down, and they're doing a 4-man march up into the top side. They don't have the same engage range that the Ornhorn provides, but they do have Vulcan, who's able to move up there, and the Chains of Corruption flashed away by Jensen keeps him safe.
The more things like that happen, the more believable it becomes that Team Liquid would be able to go. That was so much pressure lost by C9 right there. That was 4 people not farming for 30 seconds and then only getting a flash out of an Ornn, who's about to hit 13, which would be the auto upgrade on his Abyssal Mask, and Sunfire Cape is completed, and 1 step away from 14, where he can start upgrading ally items as well. But you mentioned it exactly right, Captain Flowers. C9's still winning. They're still up 1,500 gold. They're still up 2 Drakes. They're 2 away from Cloud Soul. And we've seen so many Cloud9 games this split where it's going, and it's over. Where they do seem to be able to just snap and end a game. In this case, they would snap and end Team Liquid's split. But we might be in for a brawl here with Cloud Drake coming up in 10 seconds. And finally, most ultimates available. Only ones burned is the Varus and Tahm Kench ults, so here they come.
This could tell us so much about this game moving forward. Vulcan again going to be stunned up. The initiation coming down onto him. Thick Skin going to be keeping him alive, but now he's killed at the start of the fight. Licorice coming in from the side. The Dominus is ready, but since Team Liquid have already found the pick, they have the man advantage. They are 5 versus 4, and they take control over the Drake.
And this is weird. So Team Liquid is doing the right thing. They're just saying, see Tahm Kench, kill Tahm Kench. But it actually takes a really long time, and Vulcan doesn't have a stone plate yet. A lot of times, this split, when teams have tried to focus Vulcan, the rest of C9 descends and wins the fight. But the angles that Team Liquid have been able to find here are straight up angles where no flanks are possible. So it's not like they're trying to kill Tahm Kench on top of Equalizer as a Renekton flies around the back end. C9 actually look a little lost in the past 4 minutes. They've gone from what was a 3,000 or 4,000 gold lead with 2 Drakes to an even Drake game, down in kills, and 1,000 gold being the differentiator, despite there being an Ornn on the other side. So at this game state, I might even hazard to say the Team Liquid's ahead.
Team Liquid definitely feel like they're the ones who've got the momentum. I mean, Cloud9, you don't often see this team on the back foot like this, or at least not for 4 minutes at a time like you just expressed. Things are interesting now. Cloud9 definitely looks mortal here in this game, as they do have control over the topside river. Baron is alive. We're 24 minutes into the game. Next Drake won't be spawning for another 4 minutes or so. C9 has still managed to not knock down this tier 1 turret in the mid lane. Team Liquid have done a good job at defending it. Vulcan still only sitting on the pieces of that Gargoyle stone plate. Here we go. The Chains of Corruption arrive, and Doublelift is in some trouble. The damage coming through, but Blabber's going to be popped first and foremost. Doublelift still walking, and Impact has arrived from the side of the fight. Vulcan trying to keep Sven alive, but C9 are in full retreat. Niski has to flash away, and Impact is not looking to stop just yet. A flash into a 2-man knockup, and Niski is spider food. Do you believe in miracles now as Team Liquid continue their push? They grab both bottom laners, and they slam that fight.
And C9 could not kill Doublelift. They just ran straight at him, and Doublelift stood and fired through Braum. They win 4-0 in that team fight, and now they turn straight for Baron.
Team Liquid doing what seemed completely impossible. They still have 10-second death timers on 3 members of C9. They're taking down the Baron, should be able to grab this one, no contest. And now there's no question about it, Jet. They are in the driver's seat.
Okay, so if they win this game, Captain Flowers, that will push us to so many tiebreakers that we would actually resolve them on Monday, just so people know that. But it would be a 4-way tie for 6th, and Team Liquid would still need to win yet 2 more games to make playoffs. This fight, they land Varus Ultimate onto Equalizer. That's the combo that you expect to see if they are to beat Doublelift in team fights. But he's got Flash, he's got the Braum, Core JJ blocks most of it, they return enough fire to kill Olaf, and then Impact is just hero mode in the backline, basically 1v3ing before the eventual chase down.
Impact tweeted yesterday after fans were very critical of his play, and I mean, yesterday Impact didn't play well. I can understand people not being happy about it. But he tweeted saying, I don't know what's going on. I'm so sorry. I've played so bad. I will do my best to get back in form. And hot damn, what form he is in here in this game. They were not empty words. They were not hollow promises. It was not a we'll get him next time type of thing. The man came to play today, and it is freaking phenomenal to watch.
All right, Doublelift has got that big Infinity Edge. Jensen should be upgrading into Molten. Doesn't have time, though. Here comes a fight. C9's trying to flank him. They know Doublelift is flashed.
The TP's down. Licorice is into the back line, and Doublelift is going to be the threat. The Equalizer arrives, and Doublelift is finally going to be popped. Team Liquid now in a hell of a lot of trouble. It's Broxa barely going to be keeping himself alive. What in the hell was that stopwatch for, man? That's not going to accomplish much. At least it was a full hourglass, not wasting a one-time cooldown. I'll rage a little
and they're
less
going for more
about it, but that was still a clean 3-for-0 from C9. Well, maybe not completely clean. Impact almost finds a kill onto Niski here in the back lines, but Impact is deep in enemy territory. World Ender does have him that nice speed boost to run away with. He'll continue escaping out the top side of the jungle. Blabber moving forward now as Ven behind him, and Impact will not fall.
Oh, this is actually super interesting because Cloud Drake is up in 30 seconds and Doublelift is going to be respawned and C9 has to reset. So I love the look. The team fight was perfect. They burned the teleport from Licorice. They got the flank position, and they actually comboed Doublelift down on the spot. But Jensen's now getting wave tempo in top lane. He still has Baron buff. That's going to be a solo turret over to Jensen. And we're still going to be able to see a fight on Drake here, where at the start of it, C9's going to be down 3 major ultimates, and Doublelift is actually going to be able to look for picks.
Doublelift ready with those enchanted crystal arrows. Let's see if he can keep dialing them in. Licorice has responded to Jensen in the top lane, but critically, Jensen has TP, Licorice does not. Team Liquid starts up the Drake, and Cloud9, they're agreeing with you. They're saying, look, we don't have the ultis, we don't have the positioning, we're going to surrender the Drake, it's still not sold.
Really, such a peculiar result for what was a gorgeous teamfight initiation to actually just mean that Team Liquid gets their 3rd Cloud Drake and moves 1 away from Soul Point.
Let's take another
Watching this fight one more time. Yeah, the initiation is clean. So Doublelift has to run away from Vulcan charging, and Licorice is actually able to walk into melee range to W, meaning he can still slice and dice through after they get the kill, which is how they were able to chase down so effectively onto Broxa at the end of it. Get his stopwatch, it'll be a Zhonya's soon. I think that's why he was free to use it. Yeah, there it is, the Zhonya's hourglass right away. And they continue. One more troubling thing is Jensen still hasn't used his ornaments. He should have 2 available. He should be able to upgrade Infinity Edge and Zhonya's.
Or Black Cleaver for Impact.
I actually think that would be better. Yeah, I think it should be Black Cleaver and Infinity Edge, and he should wait on the Zhonya's. But yeah, let's hope he clicks.
Or
okay, he's clicking Doublelift now. Here it comes.
I'm pretty sure that's the least valuable of like all the Ornn upgrade items. It's worth like 600 gold compared to 1,800 that the mask is worth.
That'll probably be his last upgrade. He's his level 14 upgrade he's used on Doublelift. He's aware of it now. He obviously just clicked Doublelift, so we're waiting for it to come through. He should probably click on Impact next because Impact is actually really strong. And I think Team Liquid's going to be playing for Vision around this Baron. I think they should still be looking to pick Tahm Kench. Vulcan, still no QSS, does have Stoneplate, but he's the person that they should be dumping damage onto, and then eventually playing for Cloud Soul.
And remember, ladies and gentlemen, although this game looks to be dead even in gold, those Ornn item upgrades represent about 5,500 gold worth of free stats. So assume that that is the gold lead for Team Liquid in terms of how these fights will play out. It is pretty incredible, as Licorice will go in for a 1v1 against Impact here on the bottom side, utilizing the Blade of the Ruined King. Takes off about a third of his health, but then has to back away.
Whew, that's one of the reasons you're seeing Renekton come back into priority, is little chunks like that to start fights and get a little bit of lane priority. But definitely seems like we are in that holding pattern, as C9 has this opportunity to end Team Liquid's split, had the advantage early on in the game, but have really lost control of this one. Doublelift with QSS now. You can see Core JJ with Redemption, Knight's Vow soon to be on the way. Even though it is the, Bear Assault onto Equalizer, hard for Nash to play team fights, he's made it to this point where now it's actually becoming easier. Flash up QSS in inventory to watch Doublelift have one of these vintage carry from the back games. 50 CS up on Sven. Let's see it, Captain Flowers. Let's see if Team Liquid can keep this one alive.
Let's see it, man. Team Liquid, they've got the ball in their court. All they got to do is take it to the hoop now, as C9 will continue to try to defend. They've seemed on the back foot here for quite a while, and they'll remain there, I can only guess, for a good portion of the remaining part of this game. Sven there on the front. Arrow shot out, finds its way down, only onto Blabber, as the Ornn ulti's going to come through and find its way onto Vorz. Sven already gobbled up, and now Impact's found his way into the Cloud9 lines, and everybody is just being shredded now. Niski's able to bring down some damage, but Doublelift is going to be killed off. Sven has joined him as Blabber's fighting Impact off to the side. Jensen coming in, looking to help out his fellow solo laner, and C9 are 2 versus 4. Niski will zone Broxa out, but that's all he can do. He chases after him with the flash. The repel will bring Broxa back down, and Niski is distracting as much as he can. The harpoons fired over the wall will not accomplish much. The chains come out, Niski will fall, and Team Liquid is doing what seemed undoable.
And Team Liquid is more than Doublelift. Doublelift got destroyed in that fight, and they were still able to win it. Impact, with his upgraded cleaver and big old death dance, just destroyed the backline of that fight. The other MVP of this fight was Niski's Equalizer. It basically burned down all of Team Liquid, but wasn't enough to kill anyone except for Doublelift. They get their second Baron in the game, and now we're in fast forward mode, because this Cloud Drake is coming up in 20 seconds.
Cloud Drake, Cloud Soul here for Team Liquid if they're able to acquire it. Cloud9 are first to the river, but they don't have Niski. Remember, I mentioned early on in the game, he has TP. He has no TP. He only has heal, and even that heal is down, so Niski still has to hoof it all the way down here. Vulcan is walking back to the base to bring Niski in with the Abyssal Voyage. Impact walking around the side, ready to go in here. Drake is secured by the side of Cloud9, but the Ornn Horn has been sounded. Impact's wings are spread wide, and the fight begins. Vulcan again, caught out, burst down. Licorice looking to fight here on the front lines. Equalizer going to be evaporating health bars. Licorice still looking to cut these guys down to size. Blabber in a 1v1 here up against Broxa. Jensen taken very low. Licorice on a killing spree. Doublelift, arrow after arrow after arrow after arrow, and Sven now has one into the back of Jensen as Licorice is on the front line, and Doublelift is going to be stunned up. Resurrection comes through, and Piercing Arrow does not find its mark. GA putting in work here for the side of Cloud9. The hail of arrows goes through. Blabber still looking to find something to do, but he can't do anything. Nice block on the Braum shield there as Sven and Blabber will try to retreat. Core JJ and Doublelift manage to win a 2v3 and bait Licorice into sticking around too long.
This game could not get closer. We didn't even have time for the replay of the previous fight, so we're going straight to this one where they Tahm Kench ult in. Both teams now on soul point, and let's just watch the initiation. I do think the thing that they're doing to kill out Vulcan has been the proper play, because he's falling behind, and look how much time Impact buys 1v2ing, but again, beautiful equalizer. Look how it zones Doublelift off at the top of this fight, and then so many very close stings at the end of this fight. I think it was Sven who had some critical snipes. Boom, right there on a Jensen, and they'd also been able to kill a very low health Broxa earlier. And here, it's really all about Licorice trying to get into flag range, because Licorice doesn't actually know that this brush is boarded, so he kind of just walks to his own death, because they were thinking about slicing, stunning, and then killing with Sven's charged up Q. It was not to be, though, and we go on to the next one.
We still keep going. There can be no more elemental drakes after the next one. It must be so for one of these two teams. Cloud9 got the first 2, Team Liquid responded with 3, and now Cloud9 ties it up. Team Liquid still maintain a very impressive advantage when you include the value of the Ornn items that are upgraded now in the inventories of everyone on the side of TL. He has now completed every single one of those, including that derpy little redemption. But Team Liquid sitting with, what is that, 7,500 extra bonus gold? So it's the equivalent of about a 10,000 golds lead in the inventory.
Oh yeah, and I can see the Baron power play is ticking down to the very end of it, meaning 2 minutes and 30 seconds from now, it's likely we see a soul battle. Doublelift with Phantom Dancer makes him a little bit more tanky. Keep in mind that that has the extra kind of Hex Drinker-like passive on it. When he gets low, he gets that shield on it.
Baby Sterax.
So, Baby Sterax. It's called the Lifeline Shield, I think.
Yeah, that's what the Sterax one is called. And the Maul.
Oh, yeah. You can't build more than one of them.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they don't work.
Otherwise, we have the memes of old graves with Maul and Sterax.
Okay, so I'm really intrigued by CoreJJ's choice here. He completes his Shirelias instead of completing Knight's Vow. So this is saying he's valuing the team mobility to either engage or disengage from Cloud9, maybe to run away from the Equalizer or an Olaf, over just straight up stand and fight Knight's Vow power.
Right.
Really gonna have to watch that in this fight, as what the F was that? Okay, hold on. I think this was one of those unfair I think he was trying to interrupt Niski's recall, but I actually didn't see it. All I saw was him like Ornhalting the air. It'll be back up soon enough that it's not going to matter. I would love to see a replay of what that was trying to do.
Okay. I'm glad you said it, because I was thinking the exact same thing. That was some pretty wild stuff here in League of Legends.
There's been all this tension of this game, of like C9 trying to go 17-1, TL, will they be the first defending champion to miss playoffs, let alone 4 times in a row? And we just see this Ornhalt cast out of nowhere. It's back now. It actually doesn't matter whatsoever. But oh, that's a nice little break from the seriousness.
Off into the wild blue yonder with it. I just I don't. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure it had to have been an interrupted.
I just heard it was attempting to interrupt Niski's recall. I got confirmation from our producers.
Okay, I was hoping we could get that, because that was
no flame on Jensen, please. Flame me instead.
Yeah.
Take it.
That was still funny. I enjoyed your response to the situation. If you weren't watching closely,
It's back.
Forget about it. It does not matter. Sven's knocked up into the air. He loses a third of his HP only to that initiation. But now the Ornn Horn is down. C9, they've got the Cloud Drake live on the map. They have the enemy main initiation tool down for about 30 seconds. This could be their opportunity. Licorice not going to be pulled back there by the chains. Vulcan's got to be careful to not be caught out and stunned up here yet again. Gargoyle Stoneplate is ready if he is. Sven starting up and firing onto the Cloud Drake. Impact's made his dash up the wall into the pit. Now the Equalizer's coming down onto the back line. Doublelift's going to be rooted up. Licorice looking to chase after him. Not able to follow there with the flash. Still looking to find the damage. Unstoppable into the back line goes Slabber. And Doublelift is down. Make it a double kill. Make it a Cloud9 team fight win. Make it a soul on top. Team Liquid fails the team fight. With the Ornn Horn not available, they will lose 3-0, and Cloud9 bite right back into this game.
Oh, and they're going for more. Baron is up, so they're going to have Cloud Soul and Baron when all is said and done.
Oh, Jensen nearly showing the power of the tank, mage, support, bruiser, assassin, fighter, DPS, burst, Ornn, taking down almost all of Sven's health, but Vulcan was quick on the W key to keep him alive.
And this Baron is all but gone over to C9 as they now have taken control of this game back from Team Liquid. And we talked about the items beforehand, Flowers, and I was trying to keep an eye out on that fight. I wonder if the Knight's Vow might have saved Doublelift there, because he flashed out of the initial initiation from Licorice and then just got brawled down by Blabber. We're going to see this fight one more time. There's been... Ooh, okay, sure. Okay, so
let's watch it again.
Another great equalizer by Niski. Like, it hits all of Team Liquid as they try and engage. Remember, no Ornal, no Ash Arrow at the start of this, and C9 just kind of dare TL to come. You don't want a 50-50 in roll-off because he has the true damage E and he can time it better. But right there, Verisalt roots Doublelift. He flash Mercurials, but Blabber just, like, mauls him at the end. Probably wouldn't have mattered if he had Knight's Vow when I'm looking at the overall health bars there. Another fight where we saw one earlier that Doublelift is able to stand and fight back. Another one here where C9 just doubles down onto Roots plus Equalizer plus everyone going for Doublelift, and there's not enough damage on the rest of this Team Liquid team in most cases for that to be the win, especially with this AP Varus build coming out. So I want to talk about this really quickly.
Yeah, talk to me about the hat.
I like this. It's the, maybe I'd like a Hurricane as well, but the Nashor's Tooth into Hat, his percentage health damage on the triple front line of Team Liquid is huge. So he's doing so much magic damage in these fights when he's able to detonate his passive.
Vulcan gobbles him up to keep him safe from the Ornn initiation, but now the fight's going to be coming down here yet again. Doublelift gets clipped for the piercing arrow, but can C9 win another team fight? Licorice looking for his engage opportunity, and Jensen is exploded. Doublelift critically still alive, but one member down on Team Liquid means an advantage for Cloud9.
Yeah, 42 minutes in. These death timers are almost a minute long, so any fight could be the last. I thought maybe that was it. It still may be. Look at how powerful this push is. They're going to get at least 2 inhibitors, but if they get one more pick, it's going to be the game.
Team Liquid's playoff dreams on the line. They must hold 4 versus 5. They must stop the Cloud9 onslaught. Blabber and Niski putting the damage onto the mid lane inhibitor as Cloud9 continues to push up. Sven, Licorice, Vulcan maintaining presence here in between the middle and bottom lanes. Blabber continuing to shove this wave up towards those Nexus turrets. Nexus turret number 1 nearly going to be killed at the very start of this fight here. C9 now backing themselves away. Blabber goes into the ultimate, goes into the stopwatch, keeping himself stasis up, trying to stay safe. Impact here on the front line. Once more, Vulcan going to be killed off. Sven is low, but Sven is alive. The piercing arrow flies, and Impact is brought down. Sven's got his number, and that's a 1
Jensen's
for 1.
alive.
But Cloud9 has to retreat. Jensen makes his way towards the fight, but C9 have disengaged.
So I'm going to say the stopwatch is not the button Blabber wanted to press.
No, probably not.
He presses his R, and that might have been a moment where he could have ended the game. He was charging right at Doublelift, and the stopwatch bought enough time for Team Liquid to defend. So this game will actually continue. Unreal.
What is going on? We're in for a hell of a ride, dude. I'm so happy that this is the game that we're getting out of this, and this didn't turn into some kind of a stomp. We don't know who's going to win until the dust settles, and that's exactly the way I want it to be between these two teams. Remember, now that the Soul is on Cloud9, Elder Drake is alive in 1 minute and 45, and when the fights are close like this, having the Elder makes or breaks the entire game.
Yeah, it's been an incredible match to potentially end Team Liquid's split, trying to put the best showing possible after having such a collapse this split. And C9, it's almost fitting that they have this type of game against Team Liquid, like they stomp everyone and they just forever the entertainers, I suppose, 44 minutes in. But to kind of refocus, the death cap on Niski has been so on point for these equalizers, and the QSS has been completed for Vulcan. So the strategy that Team Liquid was using, where they were able to burst down Vulcan at the start of fights, can no longer be used. And it definitely feels like the damage that Doublelift is able to put out is no longer enough to buy time over the Equalizer and the charging Olaf. So that Equalizer is a little bit wasted from the looks of it.
Equalizer
and this push isn't going to work.
Equalizer and Chains as well. They try to make a move. They get half of Core JJ's health bar, but half of the support is not a recipe here for victory. Core JJ taking the chance, go back to the fountain, heal up, and get ready to make a move towards the Drake pit. It's Team Liquid with control. Well, excuse me, it's Team Liquid with no control over the map. It's Cloud9 moving towards that pit right now. 20 seconds until the Elder Drake spawns. A battle between two junglers. Team Liquid, the only roster change they made, coming in after their 4-time LCS victories, was to get this jungler from Fnatic. Cloud9 removing the MVP jungler to bring up Blabber from Academy. These men could carry the entire game on their shoulders here with a smite fight, as Vulcan and Sven are going for a back door. They recognize that the turret is very low. They're going after it. Sven's got the arrows. Revenge is coming due, and Cloud9 will shut